Welcome to this MBL webinar on design liability in multi-party cases. In the course of this short session, I'm going to be focusing on how the courts allocate design liability in cases involving multiple defendants. I hope to give you some ideas and some practical examples of how that works in practice to assist you in considering these cases. Before I delve into it, it's worth posing the question, well, why are multi-party cases so common in this context? So we'll consider that. I look briefly at some of the legal bases for liability to frame the discussion about allocation, and then get into the meat of this session, looking at how responsibility is allocated between multiple parties, and then conclude by looking just briefly at how contract terms might have an effect on all of that. So why do these issues arise so common? Well, even in the simplest of construction projects, there are usually multiple design disciplines, architects, engineers of various types, specialist subcontractors, all working in parallel. And they can rarely afford to work in complete isolation. Their designs will be interdependent. There'll be a need for coordination, a need for integration. And indeed, design responsibility may not sit with the same person throughout the whole project. It's very common for a professional's design to be taken over and concluded by a specialist subcontractor, for example. It's also a feature of these cases that issues arise not just in relation to design, but also in relation to workmanship. And so you've got that thrown into the mix as well. In terms of the common legal bases for liability in these cases, well, we're usually dealing with main contractors, subcontractors, and professionals. So invariably, there will be a contract in play. And that, I would suggest, is the starting point for looking at responsibility, the various quality obligations, skill and care obligations, performance obligations that can be found there.